Welcome to the September 12th Eclipse OpenJ9 community call. As always, if you can add your name and affiliation to the list of attendees, that would be great. And then we have our usual agenda. If there's something you'd like to add, please chime in. You can either tackle that now or later on or in the any other business section. So just pause in case somebody wants to jump in. Okay, then we don't have a lightning talk scheduled. It would be great to get some more of these set up. So if you do have something you'd like to talk about, reach out to me and we'll get that scheduled. So let's take a look at the recent end user issues that have come in. Looks like there's an issue with CRIU possibly on P10. So it looks like there's some discussion happening there, so that's good. Yeah, all of these appear to have been getting some level of discussion. Is there any one of these issues that needs some investigation or discussion today? Anything older in that list that needs some attention? Sounds like a no, so let's jump back to the agenda. We have the 041 release coming up. We're down to 5 items in here. The OpenSSL update is usually the one we do, the item we carry forward looking at just as we go out each release. So there's 4 other items in here. I suspect that revisit disabled tests is not something that's going to block us at this point. Is that correct?
Yeah, I don't think so. Lan, can we move that out now?
I'm not sure if Lan is on the call. I don't see Lan, so we'll have to follow up with her. And then it looks like we've got 3 JIT items. Are they on track to be resolved for this release?
They're under investigation. It's hard to say whether whether or not they'll make it. So we're still trying to determine the root causes of them.
Are they reproducible enough or problematic enough that they would block the release?
I think that's how they ended up being marked for 0.41. That they were felt to be reproducible enough that they could be a problem.
Okay, so these are the items that we need to have fixed.
Well, I didn't set them as a blocker. Two of them I think might be dupes of each other, and we've seen it before, but it wasn't reproducible enough to figure out anything. But now it seems to be more reproducible. So hopefully that will let us figure something out. But if it turns out we can't reproduce these and get the diagnostics we need to resolve them, I don't know if we want to really block the release on them. But I think we should try.
Yeah, we're definitely trying.
Okay, just jumping back. We're about 2 weeks-ish away from the M2 start date. So it does give us a little bit of time to get these resolved if we can figure those out. Anything else that we want to, sorry, I was going to ask if the M1 builds were complete. They had been delayed the last time we had this call.
Yep, they're done now, and we'll publish the M1 builds.
Okay. Had anything shown up in the triage of those builds?
Well, the 2 things we were just talking about in the milestone plan.
Okay. Wasn't sure if they were the ones that had been in there before or not. So, all right. Anything else we need to touch on for 041 then? Sounds like we're making good progress towards getting that wrapped up, so that's good to be the place to be. That brings us to the JDK 21 release. I'll pull up the plan for a second, but I think there's probably still, with 31 items, we're still too many to really be able to dig into the state of these. So I guess the question is, last time we talked, there were a number of new failures identified and they were being triaged for Loom at least. Are we still fairly confident in our end of September date for that work? Jack, Babneet?
For the JVMPI issues, I think we should be able to resolve all the ones that consistently fail. For the ones that are intermittent, I'm unsure.
How many issues are we talking about?
I think I should be, let me take a look. So right now, I think the ones, there are, I think, 8 to 10 issues, and out of those, I think 4 are intermittent, and the remaining consistently happen, and I also have a fix for them. I'm just verifying I'm just running builds to verify if they have any side effects. So I'm very confident that the ones which consistently happen will be fixed by that date, but the ones which are intermittent are less likely.
Okay. So it sounds like that end of September date for Loom is problematic, at least from a JVMTI perspective. What about the rest of Loom? Is that in a fairly stable state at this point?
So the rest of the Loom stuff, I think there's only 2 outstanding issues in the JTRX suite that we're currently working on, and those ones are pretty confident to be fixed for end of September.
Okay. All right, then I guess, Cheng, is there an update on the FFI timeline?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So far, the good news is the per 5 I'm working on is working. It's 64-bit. So far, most of the basic tests passed, but we need more complicated tests, compact test with the next structural union to see how it goes. So this is for the down code. And once everything's good, I would double check on our platform to see how it goes. Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that that's likely to wrap up for the end of September?
So far it's very promising because, but we have not yet tested on the AppCode, so I need a couple days to double check.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else people want to call out around JDK 21? Actually, looking at this, we had talked about doing an M0 build after the 041 builds were working. Are we in a state where we can do that build now?
Is Adam on?
We're closer. I think there's still some issues now with the installers. So I have to look at those. But the builds are all compiling and testing is running for all the platforms that aren't blocked by the installers.
I didn't see any testing running in the nightly builds, but strangely we got one test in the weekly build, but just one.
we looking at CE?
No,
That's probably
maybe
why.
that's the problem.
I'll have a look at it again today. So. 'Cause I believe we'll at least need to do the RPM work for the installers, but I think Windows and Mac should just work. But I'll confirm.
Even for, it's 20.
All right. If there's nothing else for JDK 21, then we'll jump forward. Adam, is there an update on the infrastructure?
Yeah, so there's an issue. This was a few weeks ago now with Z-Linux machine. I believe that one's still disabled. So you have to look into that one. USB had some issues over the weekend, which caused a lot of failures. Seems better last night, so we'll keep an eye on that. But at this point, I don't think there's anything to do there. And there was a Jenkins issue last week. We had enabled TRSS monitoring. We're not sure if that's what caused the issue, but we've since disabled the monitoring. So we're keeping an eye on it.
Okay. Any questions for Adam around that? Okay, then we'll skip forward. No Marius, so I assume no JIT server update. Toby, is there an update on CRIU?
Nothing new to discuss this week.
Okay. Hung, is there an update on Valhalla?
Yeah, so the non-restricted attribute is now being working on.
Sorry, did I hear non-restricted attribute?
It's NULL, non-restricted.
Null restricted, thank you. All right. Is there any other business we want to tackle this week? All right, then thank you, everybody. The next one of these calls will be September 19th.
Thank you.
Thanks.